this is my beginning of my philosophy on teaching video, and I wanted to ask my dad some questions because he was very influential in my teaching career. So this is my dad. What's your name?
Dave Brown.
Dave what Brown?
Dave Hanna Brown.
There we go. Hannah, where did you teach?
Hanna, I taught at Ogden High School for 37 years.
And what did you teach?
I taught ancient Western European civilization.
And you coached as well?
And I coached, assistant coach in basketball, assistant coach in wrestling, head football coach, head track coach.
Okay, Hannah, Dad, what was your philosophy when you began teaching, and how did that carry through over the years?
I learned, I had a very good advisor in college. I wish I could remember her name. And the way she talked to me about teaching and kids and life, that we're no better than anybody else. You got to keep it on their level. There's teachers that are way up here and they're knowledge bound and they're way over the kid's head. They've got to be able to bring it up down to the level of the kids. It's all about the kids.
It is all about the kids. And I remember when I started teaching, you saying similar things to me and giving such good advice. And I think I probably had one of the best people in Ogden to teach me and show me how to become a good teacher. Okay, we are continuing my philosophy of teaching. We have another amazing educator who helped influence me when I began teaching and throughout my career. This is my beautiful mother. What is your name?
Linda Barker Brown.
And Mom, where did you start teaching? Tell us a little bit about your career.
Okay, I started teaching at Central Junior High in 1969, and I taught mostly 7th and 8th grade, and at that time 9th grade. I especially loved 8th and 9th grade. I taught English, and I really enjoyed those ages. And from then I stopped teaching and had 3 babies, and then I went back to teaching night school at Stephen Senegar Business College. And then when Lindsay finally started kindergarten, I went back and taught at Highland Junior High School, then went to Ben Lomond High School, then did professional development for the school district, and then was principal at D Elementary and at Horace Mann. So I've had a lot of fun experiences and have learned a lot in my career.
So we're going to first talk about, as a teacher, you taught junior high, which sometimes can be scary for some of us. What was your philosophy on working with those kids and reaching them?
I really think that if we put the kids' needs above the content, and I had to learn that after a couple of years. I enjoyed junior high. I think it is such a hard age because they're struggling with their identity. They just are still little kids trying to become big kids. And I used a lot of humor. I've been blessed with a good sense of humor, and I always said, if you can, when we did new teacher induction, if you can have some good laughs with your kids, that makes a big difference in their comfort level. Even if they don't like the content as much, they still can enjoy the class. And I tried my best always to get input from the kids, because English grammar can be so dull.
So as you became a principal, how did your philosophy, did it change, or how did you shift from working with the kids to mainly adults?
That was hard, because if I learned, I put more effort in the teachers who were in the middle, teachers who were doing fine. I learned after a year or two, they did not need as much help from me. A lot of the teachers just needed help with their procedures and their routines.
So you had a chance to listen to my parents and hear what they had to say about their experiences in education and their philosophies on working with their students. And then, as my mom talked a little bit about working with adults, and I'm 100% serious when I say they kind of helped shape me as an educator. I was able to spend a lot of time in their classrooms growing up. And even though I didn't go into education right away, and when I began, I was an unlicensed teacher, I think I still had a leg up on people because I did have those amazing examples from my mom and my dad. And I got to see the love they had for education and the love that they had for their students and how they talked about their students. And I never heard them speaking negatively about either their career or their students. And we know that there's a ton of negative information out there now about education, and growing up, that was never in my mind, and it still isn't, even though I'm in the current situation we're in where all of this negativity is around. I am able to block it out because I do have a love for education, and it's deep, and I share that. And so thinking of my philosophy, I think I was able to take bits and pieces of things from my parents and things from different educational philosophies that are out there. When I started teaching, I was a new kindergarten teacher, and as I said, I was unlicensed, and I just knew, okay, my room could be chaos. I don't want that, and so I knew I wanted structure right away. And without even really realizing what routines and procedures looked like, that's what I knew I wanted. And so I was able to talk to my mom and dad, talked what it looked like, and from day one, that's what I had in my classroom. I was somewhat strict in the beginning because I didn't know how else to be, and then I was able to grow with my students and grow in my learning. And even though I still love structure and routines and procedures, and that's what I teach all the new teachers now, I also teach about love and about relationships and loving what you do and loving the students and loving who you work with, and how important it is to build those relationships. So when it's hard to love, and when it is someone that you're working with that doesn't come naturally, you're able to move past that and create a relationship that is a working relationship. Because we're not going to love everybody, we're not going to love everything, but we're professionals and we know what needs to be done for the kids, because ultimately that's what it's for. So all in a roundabout way, I spread the importance of relationships. I spread the importance of structure and of being able to work in an environment where you feel accepted and you feel valued. And so I hope that's how I made my students feel and how I make the adults that I work with feel now. That is my philosophy.